obviously internships, developing those relationships, like you said, but you don't want to be like, when it comes to sending emails, you don't want to be annoying. You want to be assertive. So, I mean, what would you say is the difference? What would your advice be to somebody where that's like, they want to show that they care, but maybe they don't want to annoy someone?
I would say, when you know the value that you bring and you're bringing an idea to the table that you vetted out, those are never annoying. And that's something that at the end of the day, we want to hear from our staff. We want to hear from people. We want people, I can't tell you how many people connected. The reason I'm on this call is because Honora reached out to me and we had a conversation and she asked me to participate. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I got to run home and get my kids. I got to do this. But I felt like I owed it to her because I just love that she was, aggressive in the pursuit of making a great panel. So I would just say that, we want to, come with us with questions, come with an agenda, know what your goal is. And you will see men and women want to help. Inherently, you will see 9 times out of 10, people have a willingness to help and a willingness to help curate you to where you want to go. And if you're able to help problem solve for something that they're looking to work on, they're going to be all ears. So, that's where, coming into baseball was not my sport. I know very little about it or knew very little about it. So I needed to figure out ways for me to add value to the baseball operations without being very human resources side of the business. And there's some value with what we do is evaluations and feedback and recognition that traditionally maybe isn't seen on the sports side. So right immediately, that was my intention. It was to understand that side of the business as much as possible, see how I could segue into help. So I would say that at the entry level roles, mid-level roles, know what value you can bring to individuals to help problem solve and make their work life easier.
That are doing internships or you're getting into your first job, again, aim big. Like if you want to learn from someone, go ask the CEO for a coffee, and 9 times out of 10, they'll be impressed and they'll be like, sure, like, yeah, let's go get a coffee. And, look to maybe, if you're doing a social media internship, look to people in the sponsorships to just connect with and try to learn as much as possible. And that's one thing. I think I saw a question saying, what would you tell your former self, or what would you do differently? And what I would do differently is I would start to learn all the pieces of the sports business sooner. I personally was so focused on coaching and the X's and O's and being on the field that it took me a long time late into my career to actually learn how to, be a director of operations or learn how to be a managing director. And so the more tidbits that you can take from all different gamuts within the sports business industry, the more marketable you're going to be down the road when you're applying for those jobs and when you really settle into what your passion is and what speaks to your heart in where you're going to settle. So just be a sponge and ask. If you don't ask, the answer is always no. So